Ready?
Rock and rolling, man.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm here with my boy, Jeremy Sherk, and we're from Vancouver, but he's here visiting me in Korea for a while, and
Good to be here, man. Loving Korea, loving Busan.
it's been a blast. We went out last night for Halloween, and we want to do this podcast today, regardless. So here we are, man. It's been quite a while since we've kind of reconnected.
Yeah, we were saying like a decade since we saw each other in Vancouver.
So Jeremy and I, we met at about 10 years ago, first time, and since then we've both kind of gone on various paths. But what I want to talk about today, man, is just like your incredible success with your e-commerce Amazon business. It's not often you can get somebody that's done the numbers that you've had, having like an 8-figure business, and that's like 10 million plus, which is, you know, phenomenal. Considering how many businesses start and fail, and especially in such a short period of time. You know, you've been doing this just a few years, and just want to give you the space to kind of introduce yourself.
Sure.
Give an intro, and we'll let it rip.
So I live in Vancouver. As Quinton said, I like to travel a lot. We were linked up here in his hometown in Korea, where he's living. And I mean, I've got a long background in the e-commerce game. My first sort of project or business was going back to 2004, where I was doing ebooks and funnels, you know, the Google AdWords and stuff like that. We got an alarm going off here. Okay. And yeah, like in the trenches, like grinding, lots of failures, like a few wins here and there, but nothing major. And then coming into what I'm doing now, when my partner and I started in 2013, it's like all that experience and all that struggle, it seems like everything kind of just broke open, and like you said, just the success that came in just an apparently short period of time has been amazing. But I also look back to all those years of struggle that really helped prepare me for that and put me in a position to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you see somebody that just blows up and you're like, oh man, they just started making millions of dollars. But no, what you didn't see or you don't hear is like, you know, the years, and in our case, like a decade before, just testing different things, trial and error, learning, developing, growing, and then just finding something that hits, and then you just scale that up.
Absolutely.
So with your business, maybe just share what you're doing and what you're selling, and how you've kind of developed the whole brand.
Yeah, I mean, my company is Nested Naturals. It's a health and wellness brand. We have natural herbal-based formulas. We have a very popular sleep aid that was really our runaway success out of the gate. We followed that up with some different products. We have a greens powder that does very well. Also, something you put in smoothies or gives you those antioxidants, those enzymes, those good green sort of superfoods. And we've got just under 20 products now, just under 20 employees. We're based in Vancouver with our team, our core team there. We have outsourced people in different parts of the world for various positions as well. But I really look at us developing a health and wellness movement. There's a lot of supplement companies out there. It's a very competitive space. And what drew me to this, I'm passionate about health and wellness, and I really felt we could make a difference in educating people aligned with a supplement purchase. Someone who's buying a supplement is looking to improve their life in some way. And if we can capture that customer and really educate them on how to live a healthier life and change their life for the better, that's really what drives me and motivates me, because just having a transactional business where you sell some supplement and convince them it's going to change their life, which is not true. It's a supplement. You have to make other lifestyle changes. That's how I've always approached it. And I just feel like we're doing really, really exciting things with our company. We're doing lots of education. We've just started a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We put out a lot of good content and a lot of information there. And it's really a mission-driven company that we have at the end of the day.
Well, I think Vancouver's a great place to be based because it's such a health conscious, you know, it's like, you know, it's such a fit, healthy, vibrant city. Really, there's a lot of people, you know, in the yoga industry. It's huge there. There's like a yoga studio on every corner almost in Vancouver.
It seemed like it was a natural choice for us to start our office. We both lived there, my partner and I, but we weren't there at the time when we were looking at starting an office, and we both settled on Vancouver as being a great spot for that.
And as far as, you know, we talked last night, I was like, well, what separates your company and your products compared to all the masses of other ones that just kind of, you know, are like this, and then maybe go down and then kind of die out. But you guys are just going like this and just really killing it. So what do you think is the main kind of, is it the product? Is it the brand? Is it the team? Is it the platform? What is really the secret sauce? If you can share your secret sauce.
That's a great question. I think it's a combination of all those factors. There's a lot of supplement companies that have come and go. There's others that are coming into the space all the time, and they have some success, and then maybe they disappear. But I think what has sustained us through this is really looking at this from a long-term perspective.
Yeah.
This wasn't just like a quick cash play or some side business. When my partner and I launched the first product and we saw the success of it, we realized we had something big here potentially. And that's why we started the office. I was living in Thailand when we started this business. I was doing the 4-hour work week. I was enjoying that freedom, and I was reluctant to start an office, but we realized that was a necessary step for us if we want to take this company where we want to take it. So that's been a huge thing, really having that core team, people that align with the values of our company, that synergy you get with the team in one place. Again, as I alluded to earlier, my struggles and a lot of lessons I learned from failures and other internet stuff, bringing that experience into it. The brand, obviously the brand, and we have a brand manager who brought in a lot of experience and really helped dial in our brand. We didn't have Nested Naturals at the beginning. It was a different name. Okay. And we had to change that because of legal reasons, but it was a blessing in disguise.
It always is.
Our brand is much more solidified now. And I believe we're going the extra mile as far as not, here's just a supplement, buy. Yeah. But here's a supplement, we care about you, we want to help you change your life, and we really keep that conversation going with our customers. And I believe that's how we've built raving fans, built a strong brand, and have been able to do what we've done.
Well, that's awesome, man. And I wanted to ask you, how did it feel personally? Because we kind of come from the same background, doing affiliate marketing and stuff, and just like making money, but it's like really like this, highs and lows, and which we've shared about before. When you kind of hit that multi-million-dollar mark, and you're like, wow, like this is kind of like a huge movement, and financially, personally, like how did that feel when you're just kind of like, wow, like this is just really far exceeded probably your expectations?
Obviously, a lot of excitement there, a lot of gratitude, because again, success tastes sweeter when you've tasted failure before, the bitterness of failure. Yeah. But lots of excitement, and just seeing those numbers in our bank account, and just the amount of like the wires sending to our suppliers and stuff, like you're dealing with a lot of money. Yeah. And it was definitely like a reality check, and it almost makes me, with the success, before I had this success with this business, it's like, oh, I'm going to be so successful, and like life's going to be easy, and so many problems are solved and all that. Yes, there's certain comforts you get when you're successful, but I'm almost more driven now, and I'm driven by, I don't want to say anxiety, but I'm driven by the thought that if I coast, this thing could all just collapse. So like I'm more anxious to just keep my foot on the gas, and like not wanting to cruise. And I'm traveling, I'm here, and there's lots of freedom involved, but it definitely, it's not like riding off into the sunset. Oh, we have a multi-million-dollar business. Like it's like I want to stay on the cutting edge more than ever now, and like just keep my game sharp and show up every day with 100%.
No, that's huge. And as like the CEO, you set the leader. You're the leader that sets that example, right? With people watching that might want to be like, wow, this sounds amazing. What would you say? Because we both did the same training, like ASM, amazing.com. I flew down to their training conference. Oh, shit, it's done.
Facebook Live just cut off. What happened there?
We're back. We just got booted off for some reason. Maybe the internet stalled or something. But here we go. That's how we roll, things happen. You just, fix it and deal with it. That's life.
Absolutely.
So we were just talking about how, what were we just talking about, man?
We were talking about,
ASM.
Yes.
Yeah. So for people wanting to get started in something like this, what's the process look like? You research a product, you find a niche, you start sourcing products, like what kind of walk people through like the how to build something like this for themselves if they want to.
Yeah, I got to be honest, that's going back a ways in memory, and like we have a team doing all that stuff now. But if I think back to the early days, you're searching product categories, you're searching competitors, you want to see You want to see categories that aren't too overwhelmed with competition, but you want to see a little bit of competition because that shows that there's a market there. The landscape has definitely changed in the years I've been involved. You know, many people say, "Oh, it's so competitive now."
And how long have you been involved? Because it's not that long. You know, like when you talk about
our first product launched June of 2014, so that's over 4 years ago.
Yeah, which isn't long to have in the long scheme.
And
of things.
what I want people to understand is there's a lot of talk about Amazon. Oh, it's too late. It's too competitive. Well, Amazon has grown tremendously. The marketplace has grown tremendously. They've added, I'm not going to say billions, but millions of users.
Amazon is crushing everything. They're putting Sears out of business. Walmart, all these big department stores are getting crushed.
They're not going anywhere. Yeah. They're continuing to grow. There's new products coming out all the time. So yeah, the game's changed a bit, but it's not too late. I mean, you know,
it's getting bigger and bigger. And you look at other things, platforms like Shopify. You know, there's all these other platforms where you can sell anything. You know, like me and my partner initially. Actually, I'll show you guys actually what we actually were. We created. Remember last night I told you that we created a product? Mm-hmm. This was it. So we, me and my partner Dylan created this. Our brand name was Limitless Luxury Lifestyle, and it was a portable. I've got two cameras running here, so this is the other one. You can't really see the brand name that much, but it was a power bank to charge cell phones.
It's got some weight to it. This one, I've seen these before, and they're like super light.
No, that was a good one. So yeah, you can sell anything and everything. You know, like it's limitless, literally. Hence the brand name. So yeah, man, that's awesome. And you know what I kind of want to talk about before is, you know, guys that you were kind of mentored by, like Ryan Daniel Moran, that has a big platform that he does a lot of training and stuff. Him and yourself were both kind of in a place before you found this that you didn't really know what you're gonna do. Like you're kind of looking for what you really wanted to kind of build and commit to. But at the time, you're kind of like searching for what you would really want to kind of go full into. And I think there's a lot of people that can relate that might not be happy or fulfilled with their jobs or even their businesses and kind of need more income or just more to learn and grow and develop. Like that's kind of what people really want more than anything. They just want to feel a part of doing something productive. What was that like for you when you finally found what you've been kind of wanting to do?
Yeah, and just to add to that, because that's a great question. If there was a lot of failures and frustrations, and it's just thinking like, is anything going to work? Like, it's just there's so many things you're jumping at, and nothing's working. You know, years are passing. I got myself into debt, and you know, I'm asking myself, is it all just BS? Like, is anything ever going to work out? But as cliche as it sounds, just like don't give up, you know, like just. And what happened with this, before this business, I was in a lot of debt.
Do you want to share how much? Because I've heard you share. Yeah,
it was $100K, and like 60K of that was on credit cards.
So the interest was just crushing it.
Was just murder, and I couldn't declare I didn't want to declare bankruptcy because it was kind of a pride thing, but I actually couldn't because I took lines of credit out in other people's name to help out with it. And when you declare bankruptcy, you have to absolve all of everything. You can't have any debt with anyone, and I didn't want to leave other people on the hook. So it was a nightmare. And
so $100,000 in debt. Out of curiosity, how did that happen? Was that just from just like traveling, too much late nights in Bangkok here? We got the repping your old city here, living in Bangkok. Like I know how that can go.
It was just bad decisions. I mean, it was the accumulation of debt. It was the accumulation of debt over probably 8 years. Just like starting a business and be like, this is going to work out. This is the next big thing. Yeah. And then like making stupid purchases before the money was
So what was the stuff you were buying?
Well, I like leased this is still when I was in Van even, before I was even in Thailand. Like,
and Vancouver will just eat you up.
Yeah, like I leased a car. I leased a freaking car, and like, I'm like, this business is going to work out. You know what I mean? So I'm putting the shit like on credit.
Yeah, I'll take that Benz over there. I'll take one of those Beamers. Just put it on my card.
I was buying groceries on my credit card. Like, it was ludicrous thinking back to that. And then it just built up. And partly, and I've actually never said this before, so here's like a first time thing coming from my mouth. Exclusive on Quinton's podcast here. Yeah. I moved, part of the reason I stayed in Thailand, like I loved it there. I absolutely loved it there, and I wanted to stay. But a side benefit was the cost of living.
That's so cheap.
So even
Compared to Vancouver, it's like pennies on the dollar.
So I was living there, living a great lifestyle. Yeah, I was still, there was credit card stuff happening, but the money I was making could go further.
Yeah.
And that was a huge benefit to staying there. But yeah, just the accumulation over many years, and that was a nightmare. But back to wrap this point up, you think nothing's working, it's another experience. It's another experience you've banked. There's a lesson you've learned. There's skills you've likely developed. And that's partly why coming into this company and finding this opportunity, I was ready for it. I wouldn't have been able to capitalize on it the same way I did if I didn't have those previous experiences and failures, right?
You know, it's like we were talking last night how you were saying that experience with going through all that debt and financial pressure made you now be way more frugal.
Yes,
and you take a very, very modest salary. You live below your means. So you've learned that. And just kind of like with me, I shared before last night how I grew up in a neighborhood where all my friends were driving like BMWs to school, and I was like riding my skateboard, and I was like the guy that had $15 a week to spend for 5 meals, and that made me really conscious about where can I get the best deal, which is like, you know, the meal of the day at each place, and
Make you resourceful.
It makes you really resourceful. And then now when you do have cash coming in, you know, you're more conscious of it.
I'm way more conscious. I'm in many ways more frugal now than I was when I was like, it's like spending money on credit cards. I'm trying to fill a void of like not feeling like I'm enough, or like filling some void I have. But now it's like,
which is materialism. That's like how society is like, hey, you need this car to be happy. You need this big house.
It's BS.
It's bull. It's
I don't have a
bullshit.
car. I don't.
We
Want
were talking last night. I never want a car. I never want a car, and I never want a house. Like those. Hopefully I can never have those things because I don't want them. I have like, you know, I like having a condo, live by the beach, have a scooter.
Minimalist
I'm good.
lifestyle.
Minimalist, man.
Totally.
Simplify, and I learned that from my mom, man. My mom's all about it. And you want to hear a powerful mindset shift? My mom told me something just like a month ago. She said, "I'm so grateful for everything I don't have."
Interesting.
Everyone's grateful for everything they do have. She's like, "I'm so grateful I don't have to manage all these properties like her friend that has all this real estate.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful I don't have to manage a big business and all these, you know, just
freedom.
It was a total mindset shift that's so opposite from most people that's trying to get more and more and more. She's like trying to like get less, like
That's
give
me.
And
it's
me
all about
too,
simplicity.
man.
I want my life as simple as possible.
Look at right up there. I've got this Simplify above my mirror.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got this thing that says Simplify there.
Totally.
So yeah, man.
Don't fall prey to materialism and like filling this void you have with bullshit stuff that just makes your life more complicated and puts you into debt that you then have to crawl out of. And
not everyone has a multi-million-dollar business to get them out of that. You know, that's the sad fact. There's like, I read a study that like I can't remember the number, but it was ridiculous. Like 75 or 80% of Americans don't have $1,000 in emergency savings. Like I couldn't believe it, but it's just like the way it is because they're buying all the, you know, like it's
keeping up.
Crazy. Keeping up. Bangkok.
Yeah.
Let's hear some stories. Let's hear some stories. Or not from your personal things, but something that you've seen or heard about. Like you know, like let's get raw and real here.
Okay, we want to get raw and real. Some funny. I mean, you've likely heard of the Ladyboys in Thailand and like just that whole scene. Going there as a foreigner and not knowing about that was a shock. Just seeing that.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, the sex trade there is prevalent in certain areas. It's definitely in your face. And when you're not used to seeing that, it's like, whoa, like this is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I remember I was in Phuket once, and you know, I see these 2 ladyboys with these 2 older foreigners, like just drunk out of their mind, just like trying to pay for the tuk-tuk, and like these ladyboys are just looking at each other, and you know, those guys are getting robbed for sure, like because that's the business they're in, right? Like you hear about these.
We're off again.
Oh, shit.
Jeez. All right, we're back. I don't know what's going on here. We keep getting kicked off by Facebook. This is the last try. If we go off again, we're just going to cut it there. But we didn't want to leave people hanging in suspense about your Bangkok Ladyboy stories.
I just got to, like, when I first went there, you know, you have some double takes. You see this woman walking by. She looks gorgeous. And then you start to learn, like, that's not necessarily a woman.
Right. Tell the one about the Arab guys.
Oh, yeah. So there's this red light district in Bangkok called Nana Plaza, and there's like this bottleneck. You walk in, and then it opens up into like 3 levels of these go-go bars, and you can sit at the bottleneck and just have a drink and just watch the night unfold. And you see some of
the night unfold, and it just goes like this, right?
You see some of the most entertaining stuff. I've literally seen like Japanese businessmen walking in with their suit on. They have their luggage. They just came straight from the airport. They walk up, and like 5 minutes later, they're walking out with a girl in their hand.
That was a carry-on. They went to pick up their carry-on.
Yeah, it was carry-on. Yeah. And you know, I saw these 2 Arab guys like full-on get-up, like
sheiks.
These sheiks walking out like with like just massive ladyboys on their arms, and it's like, oh my god, like, you know, it's just crazy stuff, man. But great country. I love Thailand.
And you lived there for how many years?
It was the bulk of 3 years.
And for people wanting to go, like, I've got a number of friends that moved to Thailand to try and start their businesses online because of the cost of living. How much can people spend or live on there?
The thing about Thailand, the thing I love about Thailand is you can have a 5-star experience, or you can really get by on a budget. And now this was 2012 to 2015, but I had a condo, whether it was in Phuket or right in the central part of Bangkok, less than $1,000 Canadian per month, which is like a good price to live in a central happening city.
In Vancouver, you'll be paying, three grand for $3,000 for a fully furnished place at least.
But it's hard to say now, but on a budget, 2,500 Canadian, easy.
And that's all in food, eating out 3 times a day.
Yeah, and if you want to go straight up like guest house and like hostel style, you could probably get that under 2,000. Easy.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know a couple guys that went there to build their businesses and just cut back on costs. Living in a place, no winter,
great weather, great food. The people are amazing, very friendly. I'm going there in a few days. I like to get my year Thailand trip in. I still have a lot of love for the place. It's like my second home. So
yeah, man, that's awesome. I went there when my first time I was there. I was 19. Okay. It was the first country I ever went to abroad, and I flew in when I was like 19.
That's nuts.
And I was just like, "What is this?" Walking down the Koh San Road, dude, and I'm just like, "This is just." And you know what inspired me to do it, man? Was I watched the movie and read the book, The Beach.
Oh yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, one of his best movies ever. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Called The Beach. And I was just reading this novel, and I'm like, man, like, traveling to all these exotic islands, meeting these like, foreigner like Swedish girls. I'm like, man, like I've never seen that. I'm like, I want to go. And I went, and it was amazing, man. Like,
my inspiration was Hangover 2. That's what.
Oh yeah.
No, I had already decided I was going to go there, but I remember that came out just before I was going, and I watched it, and I'm like, what am I getting into here? This is wild.
What did he say? Bangkok, the city that will like, eat you up something
Bangkok's
like.
got him
Bangkok. Bangkok's got him now.
And she doesn't let go.
Bangkok's got him now. Well, I'm glad that that's like a real place where you kind of formulated yourself and kind of really, like.
I found a big part of myself by going there. Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely, and there was like just a chapter of my life that was very important and crucial.
I think one thing that is really impressive about you is just the money that you spend investing into your own personal development and your masterminds.
Yeah.
People are always saying, oh, well, I don't want to buy this course or buy this book or go to this workshop or get a coach or a mentor for this. But if you want to share like what you've done for your business and personal life as far as getting involved in these circles, and we actually met. Well, no, we met through a friend first, and then we both got invited to a mastermind group called the Brotherhood. Shout out to Sean Gallagher and all those boys that started that. That was amazing. But you've gone to really some higher end ones where you pay more than most people make in
Yeah. That's been pivotal.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Brotherhood, that was the start of a chain reaction of events that led me directly to this position I'm in now. So especially with the internet thing and like being the solopreneur, it can be so isolating, and that it's just soul draining when it's just you feel so lonely, you get caught in your head. At least I'm speaking from experience. You get caught in your head, you start to get jaded and just skeptical, and you become your own worst enemy in many ways. And having that community, surrounding yourself with a like-minded community that challenges you, where there's people on a higher level than you are, that gives you like a direct example of what you can move towards, as opposed to it being this abstract concept in your mind, or you just think like success is just this abstract concept. It makes it real when you surround yourself with those people and build up that network. And the more successful I've become, I'm always looking for like a new mastermind or something to get into where I'm still going to get challenged, because I know how much it's helped me. If there was one thing that I'm going to share that's really led me to this position and has been the consistent streamline of my success, that common thread, a mastermind group, a like-minded network of people challenging you, where there's people more successful than you. Imperative, man.
I say the same thing, you know, and that's why I love that group that I was part of in Vancouver, like from 2007 to 2010. Like I started like basically with a couple friends, like the internet masterminds that a friend of ours, Matt Asafan, has just kind of really grown since then. But just putting that group together back then when everything was really new with like social media and internet marketing, and just bouncing ideas off of each other, and just, you know, supporting each other, and just, you know, like a lot of partnerships and stuff come from that too. Do you want to share how much you paid for the one that you're in with Ryan? Or you don't have to say the name of it, but just how much, just to kind of show people that it's serious business.
Yeah, I paid anywhere from 10 to 25,000 to be in masterminds to some capacity, and like you said, like that's a lot of money to part with. Even like I'm frugal, like I was saying before. Yeah. That's a lot of money to part with. Yeah. But I recognize the value. It's an investment.
Yeah.
And
well, same as me, man. Like when I was 27 or 26, 27, one of my mentors was like, "Well, you have to go to this workshop in Cancun." I was like, "All right." I'm like, "How much is it?" He's like, $8,000. I was like, $8,000? Are you serious? Yeah, but if you're serious about getting your results, you're going to go and meet these people, learn from these people, and if you're serious, I'll see you there. If you're not, I don't care, kind of. And what I did, man, what I did was insane to get that funds. I rented out my apartment in Vancouver. I set up a surf trip through UBC with all these students to go down. So I got a free flight down to Mexico for the event.
Nice.
I made some cash from, you know, leading that event.
Nice.
I made money from renting out my apartment for that month. I lived in Mexico for a month. And then I started my, like kind of what you did in Thailand when you went there, I was starting my business in Mexico. And I just made it work. And after that, I came back, and that's where, you know, I connected with guys like, you know, Mike Dillard that has a big podcast and stuff now.
You met those guys through there.
So that was all through this last previous business, right?
Very cool.
And that's just a decade ago, and those relationships are still connected. And like you said, you know, people might say, well, 10 grand, that's a lot, but it doesn't have to be that level. You can find something that's like, you know, a couple $100.
That's it.
A couple $100 a year or something, or just get a coach. Like that's why now I'm passionate about helping people and offering myself and my services to actually help people get to higher levels and get unstuck and connect them with other people that have what they want to create.
That's a key point.
Yeah.
10 grand, 25 grand, that's where I'm able to do that now.
Yeah.
But the Brotherhood was free when it started, but now
there's tons of resources.
It's a couple thousand. You can find meetup groups, you can find Facebook groups that are free or maybe a few $100. Start where you can start, but it's so crucial.
Yeah, they say that your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
You know, like surrounding by yourself. And that's one thing I've really been lacking here in Asia, and that we talked about this last night, because I'm kind of where you were at when you were in Thailand. Lacking that community of people locally that you can kind of meet up with, because there's not a lot of people in my space here that are kind of with the same kind of vision and goals that I have. So that's why it's so been awesome having you come visit here, man, and get that boost of a hometown
just like-minded
connection.
Conversations.
Yeah, bouncing ideas off of each other, and you know, you shared some things with me, I shared some things with you. We try and support each other and add value where we can. So, well, you know, we have a full day. We're gonna go and get some spa treatment here.
Full Korean experience.
I'm getting a facial, some massage, some acupuncture, some cupping. We're gonna basically recover from our Halloween night last night. So, where can people reach out and connect with you, man, and support what you're doing?
I would say just head over to Instagram, Jeremy Sherk. My name is
I'll link it up in the description.
Link it up there. That's the go-to spot. And I have a YouTube channel. I put out lots of good content on YouTube, but I promote that on Instagram, so you'll hear about that there if you just go follow me on Instagram, or check Jeremy Sherk on YouTube. Those are the two go-tos, I would say.
Awesome. My last question for you: what is a successful life defined to you? Like, how, if you look back on your life, you're like, man, I did it right.
Yeah. Looking back on my life, I want to know. actually, it's so funny. I was on Mike Dillard's website just a few days ago, and he's got a video, and he says what his mentor told him.
Oh,
was,
I know exactly what you're gonna say, and this is so powerful.
And this just resonated so deeply. So
listen to this, everyone. This is huge.
I'm gonna pass it forward here. So Mike Dillard on his website, he's talking about his mentor. He's having lunch with him, and his mentor said, "Do you want to know what every man's worst nightmare is?"
Yeah.
He's like, "What?" Being on your deathbed and having the man or the woman, if you're a woman, show up that you could have been if you lived your fullest life, and you meeting them. So my idea of a fulfilled life is being at the end of my life and being like, I did everything I could. I did not hold back, and I am the person. I am the highest potential of myself, basically. You know what I'm saying?
No, totally, because I heard that. And like I said, if you guys don't know who Mike Dillard is, he has one of the biggest podcasts in the world called Self-Made Man. It's amazing. And he was one of my biggest mentors since like I was 26, 27 years old. And it's basically living to your full potential. You know, living to whatever God's gifts are for you, that you take advantage of them and you use them and you don't waste them. So, man, that's powerful. I'm glad you shared that.
Quinton, thanks for having me. Man.
Thanks for coming, dude. I appreciate the visit and safe travels in Bangkok. Don't let her get you. Don't let her get you. And yeah, man, I'll definitely connect you with the watchers with your Instagram below.
Beautiful.
And,
thank you very much. Thanks
for watching, everyone. We're gonna go and treat ourselves to some Korean treats.
Korean experience, yes.
All right. Cheers.